All right, guys. Apologies again. I had to restart my computer. As you saw within that last bit, my PC was just freezing and all of that. So please bear with me if you can. But in any case, that's everything we're gonna need for the registering user method. Now, the one last method we're gonna need within here is to check if the email the user is registering it with, does it exist within the system or not. So first, up here, I'm going to create that statement first. So I'll say uh, private static final string. Um, Let me just call it email exists. And from there on, I'll just say select equals to that. So that's our email exists statement. And then down here, right beneath the register user method, what I'm going to do is check page. And I'll say public static. It's going to return a boolean. Okay, that's it there. And obviously we're gonna need the email as the input. It's gonna say return false down here. All right, so as we did at the top, I'm gonna first initialize the connection variable. I'm gonna set it to null initially. Then this time around, we are gonna need the result set. So I'm gonna say net. Then I'll say set, and then also initialize it to null. Okay. So down here, And in here I'm just going to put the class not found exception. And then down here I'm just going to say e print spike trace. Okay, so now within here what I'll do is initialize the connection dot get connection. Okay, and here I'm going to prepare the statement. Equals to, and then we get our email exists string. Okay, so then we want to set the and then obviously the first parameter is going to be 1, and then we're going to put the email. Let me just double check here. Okay, so that's our placeholder there. All right, then now we're going to execute the statement. We are then going to say set equals to execute query. Right. Then I'm going to set a while loop here and say set dot next. So obviously if there is an email, it's going to return true. So it'll return true if there is data available. Otherwise, we're going to return false down here. Okay, so that's all we're going to need for our does the email exist method. Now, within the register servlet, the first thing we're going to do here within the do post method is to get the form data and set the variables we're going to need. So with here, I'll say so for that, what we're going to need to type here is string. The first one is going to be first name, and then that's going to equal to dot get parameter, and then obviously that's going to be first name, and I'm going to say dot to actually I'm going to say dot trim, and then dot to lowercase. Okay, so just so you know, this parameter we're getting here, first name, this is coming from the input field, the name attribute. So this first name is the name we're getting over here within the request.get parameter. So now I'm going to do the exact same thing for all the other fields. I'm just going to copy that there, paste it a couple of times. Okay, so now guys, I'm fully aware that when it comes to validations, we shouldn't be relying on the front end validations, because JavaScript can be easily disabled within the browser and whatnot. But for now, I'm just gonna check for null values and then see if you can register the user. So the first if statement that I'm gonna write is gonna just check for empty fields. So I'll say the check. I'll say if. So the one thing I'm gonna do there is say first name. Actually, let me just copy that there. Now, before we proceed to register the user, the first thing we need to check is if the user, the email the user is using to register into the system, does it exist or not? So we're gonna utilize that does email exist method that we created. So there I'll say if, and then I'll say so since it's returning a boolean value, we can just within that block there we can say application DAO dot does email exist, and then we can just pass in that email there. I'm gonna surround it with the try catch block there. Okay, so if the user does, if the email does exist, we're gonna redirect the user. So what I'm gonna do there is set, and I'll say request dot set attribute. I'm gonna name the error as email exists. Then the message is gonna be So within here, we're gonna redirect them back to the error page that we created, which is error.jsp. So here within the error page there, what we're gonna do is we're gonna take that what you call it, that error that we created there, and we're gonna export it within here. So what I'll do is I'll say so what I'm gonna first do is say if request dot get attribute, and then as you remember we said email exists. If it's not now, okay, so as you can see, that that attribute there, the email exists, it will display the error message that we typed in here within the register servlet, that error message over there.